Hello everyone, this is Matt from Real World Review, and today we're going to replace the back glass on the Samsung S10 Plus. This should be the same thing as the Samsung S10, but this one is going to be an S10 Plus. So the tools that you're going to need are going to be a razor blade, a playing card, and some heat. You will also need some glue or adhesive, and some clamps. For this video, I'm just going to use glue and the adhesive that comes with the back. So the first step is to heat up the frame. Generally what I do is I like to go around the phone and then I want to focus on one of the sides and the bottom. Since there's not too many cracks, I'm going to focus on the right side and the bottom portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat that area up, and then I'm going to get a razor blade to kind of lift up the back glass. And then I'm going to put a playing card in there to cut through the remaining adhesive. So I recommend cutting through sections, so I cut through the bottom, and then I'm going to cut through the right side. I'm going to go all the way to the top, and since the glass is cracked, you don't really have to worry too much about breaking it anymore, but I want to be careful and make sure it doesn't shatter into a million pieces. Then what I'm going to do is cut through the adhesive on the left side. I didn't use heat on this, and you can see the glass cracking a little bit more, but I recommend using heat. Then the next thing we're going to do is just cut through the adhesive on the top portion of the phone, and it should just come off like this. Now some backs won't come with the camera lens, so what we're going to do is we're just going to heat this up and we're going to push it out. So I'm just going to add some heat on the camera lens. It is glass and metal, so don't really worry too much about melting anything. After you heat it up for a few seconds, what you want to do is get a card or like a razor blade under there to kind of cut through that adhesive. Be careful because this will be really hot. And once you get the card in there a little bit, what I'm going to do is just push down on the camera lens so I can get the card under it, and then just cut through the rest of the adhesive, which should be kind of easy like this. Then the camera lens should fall off, and we're just going to take off the adhesive because we're going to apply our own. Next, we're going to remove the cover for the adhesive on the back of the new back. And generally what I recommend is taking off this adhesive and applying your own, but in this case it seems to be really good, so I'm just going to leave this all on here, except for this part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the B7000. Doesn't really matter what you use, it's just B7000 is clear, so I want to make it clear. And what we're going to do is we're just going to apply the glue around the edge of the frame. You don't have to apply too much because it's going to stick on there fairly easily. Also, the phone isn't water resistant anymore, so you don't really have to worry too much about that either. Then we're going to set this in place on the new back, and we're going to let that dry for a little bit. Next, what you want to do is make sure the cameras look clean, and they do, so you're ready to put the new back on. Since we already have adhesive, I like to apply the glue around the trim of the phone. If you are putting your own adhesive, you want to apply it around the gray areas around the phone, not on the black plastic. As for the glue, you apply it to the gray areas, and then I apply it a little bit to the plastic, just to make sure the back stays on there perfectly. Be careful around the top, you don't want to add too much and have it go into the camera area, although it's pretty difficult for that to happen. Next, what we're going to do is heat up the adhesive so then it sticks a little bit easier, and then we're just going to set it onto the phone like this. There may be some glue that comes out, that's fine, don't really worry too much about that. What you need to worry about is to make sure that the back glass is fit on there perfectly. You can feel on the edges if one side is sharp or if one side doesn't feel the same as the other side, you didn't line it up properly. But once everything looks nice, we're just going to apply the clamps and we're going to let this sit for a little bit. I recommend 5 or 6 on one side and then 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. After about an hour of sitting, we're going to take off the clamps. And if there's any other adhesive, we're just going to clean that off. You can use a razor blade, although I'd recommend being careful around the metal. But the best thing to do is either use your nail or your thumb to kind of remove the adhesive. All you want to do is just go over it a few times and it should come off fairly easily. And that's it. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section or on Twitter at MattofRWR. And feel free to follow me on the social media listed above. Subscribe to my channel so you can see more repair and some review videos. And hit that bell button so then YouTube actually reminds you when those videos do come out. Thanks for watching.